Hey, this is Anthony with RevZilla. Come on, decide and ride. Welcome to our detailed breakdown of the new REV'IT Bison riding shirt available at RevZilla.com. This is the Bison riding shirt from REV'IT, which is coming to market in 2018. Ultimately, it is the step forward over the Tracer, which was REV'IT's first attempt at a riding shirt. Now, I say attempt as if it was unsuccessful. It was successful. The Tracer was basic, it wasn't thermal, it wasn't waterproof, it wasn't breathable, but it had armor and it wasn't meant to be as bulky as a jacket, hence the riding shirt. Now, with the Bison, which is an interesting name as we go down the animal Rolodex for North America, this becomes waterproof, breathable using Hydratex lite and tape seams. So you still have a 600D poly textile outer shell. It comes in one color. That's our other gripe with it here, is we wish we had more color choices, which is black and gray, but it's meant to look like that beefed up flannel, but ultimately it's getting waterproof breathability that's non-removable. Now, there's no quilted and no thermal here, so you'd have to go to something like the Westport jacket closer to the $300 mark if you want quilting and warmth, but ultimately what this is really meant for is spring and fall riding, potentially into the summer a little bit if you know you're gonna get rained on, when you wanna have the protection of having your 600 poly with the beefed up Seesmart Level 1 armor and elbow and shoulders, but ultimately looking a bit more casual than that. And ultimately, I can't really complain about that when you're coming in around the $250, $260 mark, because it captures a great amount of style, but also a solid amount of protection. Now, before we get into the nuance here of the Bison, we got high-vis Bison to my left. That's a terrible name for you. 6'1", 195, 42-inch chest. He's wearing a size large. You can see it's more of a relaxed fit. You'll see when he turns backwards that it is a bit more of a drop seat. Again, meant for a more relaxed riding position, lots of room to move while keeping you dry, keeping you windproof, extending the seasonality while keeping you covered and protected with this baked-in, preformed but lightweight Seesmart armor, which is a nice touch. Now, keep in mind, we'll ship free over 39 bucks. And ultimately, I'd love it if you would click our logo, subscribe to us at RevZilla on our YouTube channel, stay up to date with our opinion, while also leaving me your comments, questions, and feedback here on the Bison more directly. Now, if we look at it, we have it kind of half undone up here, because if we did all these buttons, it would be a little bit of a struggle to get it completely undone when we show you the guts towards the end of the video. But ultimately, keep in mind, it is going to be these buttons. They are metallic, they are matte finish, they are very cool. They go all the way up, and you do have a zipper behind it, because what happens is, if you want the full benefit of the waterproof breathability, and you want to make sure that you're blocking all the wind, you want to have that zipper fully done. What's nice about it is, notice it is molly webby. Behind here, molly webbing. And what that allows you to do is it allows you to, using one finger, complete the button. So ultimately you don't have to use two hands. You can button it up or button it down while you're driving, which is a nice touch. If I lift the right side of the collar, note you do have another button underneath the collar, and you do have a snap keeping it down. So you can go all the way up and lock this guy down. Considering it is waterproof breathable, some days you're gonna wanna fully block Mother Nature. Notice it is a riding shirt. There are no hand warmer or slash pockets there. Now, Briz, turn and face that way for me. If you turn and faces away, you look at the side here, note, there's your Seesmart armor. You can't even tell it's in there, but it is, I promise, it is preformed low profile. And ultimately, you do have Power Shield, a double layer at your shoulders and elbows. So on the inside of this jacket, along with this triple stitching for reinforcement, they've given you secondary areas of Power Shield, which again, beef up the abrasion resistance. And notice, if you look down the side, no adjustability here. It's meant to mimic a shirt, so ultimately it comes down, you get a little bit more of that drop seat. It's just a clean finish. Turn backwards for me. Now, as Brizzle turns back, there's a few other things going on here. The first is it does not come with back protector, but you can add a REV'IT Seasoft Type RV back protector, taking it to level 2 if you want, but that's gonna add a little more bulk. It's not gonna look the same as if it's just a similar riding shirt. I recommend that you add it though. You always want the back protection. Up towards the top, you do have a blacked out element of reflective that's going to give you the chance to be a little bit more visible at night. Now, they made the choice here. They only went with one pop of reflectivity right along the back, as it's more of a casual piece. I don't know how you work it into the elbows or the sleeves, ultimately without throwing off the line and making it look more technical, but that is a choice. Know that going in, you have one pop of reflective. And then right here, you're going to see these are two little vents. So ultimately, if you are riding and air is coming in, you have this open, air is going to circulate, it is going to exit indirectly from the membrane out the back. So remember, you have that waterproof breathable membrane that is not removable. Some air can get between the outer shell and that membrane, and here's a little bit of an exhaust panel there that's going to aid in the transpiration, aid in the ability to stay cool and comfortable. But ultimately, very clean line along the back. As he turns backwards to the front, you'll notice that you do have the removable patch here with this Velcro panel Ultimately, this REV'IT logo is removable. Come back around the rest of the way. And before I open it up, I want to talk a little bit about the sleeves. If he raises his arm up here, you'll notice very basic at the sleeve, just another button. Now, Brian, let's see how good you can do without looking. If you can unbutton this guy, always easier to unbutton than button, even with the single side. There he goes as he works his way down here. You're going to notice they didn't give you a rubberized button down towards the bottom, but it is covered, which is a nice touch. Ultimately, that last one doesn't stick out, so it's not going to bite your tank. If it comes down all the way, open it up. Notice, this is your waterproof breathability, mesh liner on the inside. The design goes across the top there, and you do have jeans loops as well as a short connection zipper along the back. You should have a pocket on this side as well. You do have the pocket. You can see, though, there is the patchwork calling out the interior and the armor, which is fully removable. That's your Seesmart armor. So zip it back up. Ultimately, not a lot of grapes. It's not a cheap investment, coming in just over the $250 mark, but we like the way that it's completed. I wish there was a secondary color versus this black and gray, which almost has a red or light red family hue behind it, but ultimately they've executed it well. So if you don't want a tracer, if you want to beef up and get that waterproof breathability, you do have the Bison. And remember, the Westport's going to be in the same theme, but that's a full-on jacket, not just a riding shirt. The next step in your journey is click the info button, your desktop, your mobile device. Visit the product detail page at RevZilla.com, read other rider reviews. You shouldn't just take my word for it. As always, we'll ship free over 39 bucks. And you want to talk to a gear geek, see us at RevZilla.com or 877-792-9455. Thanks for watching our detailed breakdown. Remember, subscribe to us at RevZilla on our YouTube channel. Stay up to date with our opinion, latest and greatest in the moto universe. I'm Anthony. We'll see you next time.